Hi, Katie. How are ya?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for coming in today. I wanted to, just let you know that I appreciate you reaching out and coming in and taking that step to take care of yourself, that's a huge step. Can you tell me a little bit about what's going on, why you came in today?
I've just been feeling pretty overwhelmed lately. I have a new baby who is 6 months old, and just a lot of responsibilities, trying to provide a good future for him and my wife. And so I'm back in school and I'm also still working. And so just between um being an overwhelmed, student and also employee. There's just a lot of demands, and I feel like I'm getting stretched really thin. And it's becoming harder to manage than what I expected.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a lot on your plate. Um, do you, how do you feel like these new responsibilities are kind of altering your day to day? How are you behaving differently and feeling differently and seeing things differently at this point?
It's definitely a struggle. I keep telling myself that I need to take time to do things that I enjoy and, give myself a break, but
Mm.
I just feel exhausted. So like when I do have a minute where I could do something like that, I just want you know, to lay low. I don't have any energy
Yeah,
to use that time if I do get any. So it feels like there is no time for myself. And like if there is, I just don't want to do anything.
want to rest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that that's pretty valid when you have so many things on your plate, right? And it's almost like some of those tasks can seem more exhausting than, if you're trying to take care of yourself, sometimes self-care can feel like another responsibility.
Yeah.
Um, When do you have any built-in time in your schedule to, do any self-care tasks or like you said, relax? Because, if you feel like you need to sleep, that counts too. So, do you have any time built into your day or week that you can take for yourself to rest at this point?
I definitely think it's hard to relax.
Yeah.
If I do get any downtime, I feel like I have to make the most of it. And um, mostly I just want to sleep. But I also feel like, I need to make sure the dishes are done and I eat something and things like that. So I do find that it's really hard that even if I do have downtime, I think I feel guilty that I should be doing something.
Yeah. Okay. I hear you. What about how this is impacting you physically, right? How is this impacting not only your emotions but your physical body?
I just am feeling so exhausted all the time. I feel like I don't feel like I'm like being myself, and I'm starting to like distance myself from my friends because I just don't have the energy to spend with them.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm not as patient as I used to be. I definitely feel like I'm on edge. And really small things just make me feel really anxious and irritable.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Um, so it sounds like from both ends, these new responsibilities and these added stress are affecting you not only mentally but emotionally and physically. Um, so I am wondering, how do you feel like this is impacting your relationships, whether it be with your wife or your family or your friends? I know you said that you're a little bit shorter than you usually are, um, do you feel like you have those people that you can rely on and count on to kind of give you that grace that you need during this time?
Yeah, I definitely do have those kind of people in my life.
Yeah.
I do feel like I am not giving them, the attention, or the positivity that they deserve because I'm constantly feeling tired and stressed. I do have those people in my life. I just don't think it's being reciprocated. Like I don't feel like I'm maybe giving them grace like they're giving me grace.
Sure. Okay. Okay. I think that's understandable at this point in time. You have so much on your plate that it kind of seems like you're to the point where you're just surviving at this point, right? You're just trying to get done what you can get done. Um, can you think about, for me, is there a time aside from now, that you've ever felt this way before?
Um, yeah, I think I remember feeling similar to this when I was younger. My parents, they never focused on my grades. So I think that's where like this overwhelming feeling of like doing so well in school is coming from, is because I didn't really try when I was younger. My parents cared more about me like being athletic. Especially when it came to playing softball. There's a lot of pressure on me to
Mhm.
play well in sports, and if I had to feel like I had to meet like certain expectations to make them feel proud. And
Okay.
I feel like that's what I'm doing now as well, but with school this time
Yeah. Okay.
and like life in general, being a good mom and being a good wife and all of
Right.
that.
Right. So that's a lot. That it sounds like to me that you have experienced some of that pressure, right, from your family in the past to meet those expectations. Do you feel like that intense feeling of pressure might be affecting you now? Do you feel like that has correlation with one another?
Yeah, I think so. Now I feel this responsibility to do everything right for my family,
Mm.
and to make sure that our future is secured. When back then it was, about sports and being the best on the field, and now it's about being the best parent and partner that I can be.
Yeah. Yeah. And it sounds like to me that you're also worried about, you know, um, the type of friend you are right now and
Mhm.
the type of person you are not only for other people but for yourself.
Yeah.
Um, I think all of that makes a lot of sense. It seems like to me it looks like there's a pattern of feeling like you need to meet that high expectation, right? Have you noticed any other ways on how these feelings of pressure are connected from the past to the current, how you're feeling right now?
Yeah, I think like thinking back on it, um, I realize that I'm setting a lot of those expectations on myself.
Hmm.
Um, like I said, my parents never really cared about school. They never cared about my grades.
Yeah.
But they wanted me to excel in something they valued, like sports. And now I'm trying to excel in what I value for my own family. So I feel the same drive, to succeed, which I do think kind of goes back to
Yeah.
pressures from the past.
Yeah. It's interesting to see how past experiences can kind of shape what we expect of ourselves, right? So, um, if you reflect on how you managed stress in the past, is there anything that has helped you cope maybe with that feeling of stress and pressure and how am I going to handle this? Like how did you deal with that then? Because we want to think about how we can take those tools and make them useful for the now, the here and the now.
Um, I think back then I remember trying to focus on self-care when I could. I did try to find ways to recharge, and help me to get back on track. I've definitely let it slip though in recent years.
Mhm.
But I do think trying to do things for self-care helped me in the past and helped me make a difference.
Yeah. I think too, it's different when in the past you are looking through the lens of a child, right? You're a child and you have these expectations from your parents, but now you're the parent and you have, all of that riding on you. So it's definitely a different type of pressure. And they might require different forms of self-care. So I think it's important to reflect and maybe bring those tools to your here and now and see if, do you think that there's anything maybe you could explore those similar practices that you used then? Like what do those self-care practices look like for you that maybe you could implement now that are attainable?
I think like back then I would try to hang out with my friends
Hmm.
more, outside of, playing like the sport, like playing softball. I definitely try to hang out with other friends. Kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier, just me not having time for my friends. I feel like spending that time with them could help me to recharge, and that could be part of my self-care. But also, I have loved to go for a walk lately. Like I think walking is something that has helped me
Yeah.
in my adult years. So I also do think I could do try to do that too.
That's great. That's great. I think it's really great and important that you're recognizing the importance that self-care is to you and how that can change the way that you think and feel right now with all this pressure. And it seems like it's something that has helped you before. So it seems like you do know the tools that um, help you as a person kind of get through these moments. We can explore ways to attainably, right, incorporate those things because we don't want to incorporate self-care and then have it be a box that you have to check. Right?
Mhm.
That's not what we want. So if we can find a good way to implement those into your routine, if you're open to it, I think that would be, a great start to kind of pulling you out of this burnout feeling.
Yeah, I definitely think that that's a good place to start
Good.
to help me
Okay.
from feeling overwhelmed and
Great.
burnout.
Yes, I think that I agree. I think that that would be a really great start, at least to, bring you some comfort that you have some tools in your toolbox. Um, well, I appreciate you sharing with me today, and I look forward to meeting with you again and kind of getting a jump start on figuring this out for you, and we can work together and see what's going to work best for you.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you so much for today.
Yes, I hope that you have a good rest of your day.
Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.